Happiness. What is it really? And why does India need more of it? While this number seems uninteresting, it's where India stands among 156 other nations across the world in the Happiness Index. Even our neighbors Nepal, Bangladesh, and Pakistan holds more promising positions in this index. But why are we speaking of happiness? Happiness is an emotion caused by the release of endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine. The feeling of happiness not only allows one to be healthier, but also more productive. All in all, it creates a more efficient labor force for a country, which in turn can increase the country's GDP. These are the parameters that United Nations considers for estimating happiness. India, of course, ranks poorly in each of these parameters. But why is India really unhappy? Well, for one, India has a significant divide between the opportunities that are provided to the rich and the poor. Furthermore, there is a great lack of social support across all stratas of the society. Finally, we believe that systemic corruption has truly handicapped India. So let's have a look at how we will make India happier. We will focus on 3 realizable elements to augment India's happiness quotient. The first of these focus areas is education, next we have healthcare, and finally we'll focus on corruption. We have prepared an action plan to realize these objectives. Our final goal is to bring India's happiness index rank under 100 in the next 5 years.
Coming to education first, in India, secondary schools, especially the ones in rural areas, are marred by low participation and high absenteeism. We can tackle this by implementing annual training programs for public school teachers.
Another issue is the low-income workers struggling to sustain employment due to lack of vocational skills. This needs a policy-level approach. We will be tabling a bill to HRD for the provision of free vocational training and certification.
Over 70 million Indian people suffer from mental health problems. Yet, the psychiatrist to population ratio remains at 1 per 2 to 3 lakh people. We suggest that the percentage of budget increases to 1% over the next 5 years, thereby allowing us to increase psychiatrists in the government district hospitals. People suffering from mental health problems generally find it really difficult to connect with people around them. We therefore suggest increasing the number of 24/7 helpline centers across India to provide support for healthcare medical counseling. There is a stigma around seeking help for mental health. Generally, people are not even aware about what they're going through. Conducting systemic awareness drives in schools and corporates will help them people realize that they are not alone in this battle. Only 31% of primary health centers are located in rural India. There, over 3/4 of our population resides. We want to focus on building strong PHCs in the rural parts of India and bring this ratio up to 50% in the next 5 years.
Corruption leads to a complete lack of trust in the social, economic, and political system of the country, and hence we would like to address this issue. A major problem here is that there is a lack of an enforcement mechanism to fight corruption. Hence, we would like to take inspiration from countries like Singapore and push the proposal to set up an autonomous body to fight corruption. Banking sector frauds cost 265 million annually. Hence, we would like to focus on the automation of the banking filing and recording systems in public institutions. Transparency in procedures is the way to go forward. There is rampant corruption in the bedrock of a democracy, that is the political system. The previous elections, 68.45% of the total income of political parties through voluntary donations was not disclosed. With so much money at disposal, it is only fair to be transparent with the public. Information is an antidote to corruption, and hence we would like to extend right to information to the funding of political parties. Opaqueness in transactions and procedures is the biggest reason or curtain behind which corruption thrives. The moment one makes dealings public, one denies the scope of corruption to anyone. E-governance in all the domains of public dealings will ensure the curtain is no more available to corrupt people to hide behind and force them to conduct themselves in line with the rules and ethics. Measures like e-procurement through e-bazaar, online train, passport seva are some examples to be emulated.
Let's look at a few potential barriers to our solutions. We need funds for this. There needs to be a shift in people's mind, and bills need to be passed within a timeline. In order to do this, we are going to increase tax on large companies, have regular awareness programs, and will establish a happiness cabinet that will push reforms. This is the timeline we are going to use for implementation. From 2019 to 2022, we are going to propose the bills, launch the cabinets and programs as discussed before. And in 2023, we are going to fix the existing strategies and propose a layout for them for years to come. We would like to close our presentation with a quote from Jim Rohn. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Thank you from all of us, and we hope you vote for us in the upcoming elections.